Did you know you could realistically buy your first investment property in the next 90 days if you do it the right way? I've bought and sold over 150 properties in the last 18 months alone, and I've seen exactly why most people take years instead of months. So in this video, I'll show you the fastest path to your first property and why starting with something like a HMO will only slow you down. So when I first got into property, I did what most people do. I looked at every strategy: HMOs, service accommodation, buy to lets, rent to rent, anything I saw on social media, I went down the rabbit hole. The problem was that the more strategies I looked at, the more overwhelmed I got, and I ended up wasting months on the wrong things. And at the time, I thought I was being smart. I thought if HMOs make more cash flow, surely that's the better option. If service accommodation makes more profit, that must be the fastest way. But when you're starting out, especially if you've got a full-time job, speed matters, because the longer you stay stuck in research mode, and I've seen this happen to so many people, you end up never actually starting, and that's the worst place to be. Here's what I didn't understand back then: speed doesn't come from chasing higher returns, it comes from removing friction. And with strategies like HMOs and service accommodation, there's a lot of friction. They have more moving parts, more regulations, more refurbs, and more things that can go wrong. And if this is your first property, that friction will slow you down. And I did this myself. I bought a buy-to-let, tried a HMO, did service accommodation, and honestly, I felt busy, but I wasn't really making progress. But then, instead of trying to be clever, I simplified it. It was only when I stopped jumping between different strategies and focused purely on buy-to-lets, that's when things changed. That's when my portfolio went from 0 to 22 properties in just a few years. Not because buy-to-lets are exciting, but because they're simple. And remember, simple scales, complex fails. Was I going to become a millionaire off my first buy-to-let? Of course not. But your first property isn't about getting rich, it's about getting started. And once you've started, that's when momentum builds. Looking back now, having tried all of those strategies multiple times, I can tell you confidently, if your goal is to buy your first property quickly, safely, and without it taking over your life, a simple buy-to-let wins every time. So if you want to get your first deal done quickly and safely, pick the strategy with the least friction. Start with a simple buy-to-let, build momentum, and watch how fast things move once you're in the game. Now, this next part is what really affects how fast you move, because if you get it wrong, you'll add months without even realizing. So we've seen this happen with plenty of our clients over the years, right? They're excited, they've set up the limited company, they've opened a bank account, and they're ready to go. Then a good deal comes up, they like it, they want to go ahead and buy it, and we ask them one simple question: have you spoken to a broker yet? And most of the time they haven't, because most beginners assume they can sort the mortgage later on, or that it won't take too long. And this is where you slow things down, because sellers, estate agents, or auctions don't really care how motivated you are. All they care is, can you move quickly? If another buyer already has their mortgage in place and proof of funds ready, guess who gets taken seriously? Not the person who still needs to sort out their finances. We've had clients lose deals purely because they weren't mortgage ready. Nothing wrong with the property, nothing wrong with the budget, they just weren't organized. While they're still putting documents together, someone else has stepped in and bought the property, and suddenly what could have been a few weeks process turns into starting again from scratch. That's why before anyone even works with us, we make sure this is sorted first. We always introduce our clients to a broker because they've done this hundreds of times with us. But whether it's our broker or your own, it doesn't matter. You just need to speak to a broker and get prepared, because if your finances aren't in order, nothing else moves. So how do you actually get prepared? Before you even book your first viewing, speak to a broker, get your decision in principle in place, have your deposit accessible, and your proof of funds ready to send straight away. That way, when you find something decent, you'll be taken seriously, you can move straight away, and that's what keeps you inside that crucial 90-day window. But there's another thing that will slow you down, and it's where most beginners waste the most time. So when I first started investing, one of the biggest questions I kept asking was, where should I invest? So I started in my hometown, Wolverhampton, because it made sense. I knew Wolverhampton. Then I saw better returns in Doncaster, so I bought a HMO there. Then I found a deal in the northeast. Then I bought in Lancaster. Before you knew it, I was investing in multiple areas. Apart from jumping strategies, I was also jumping between locations, and I see beginners do this all the time. They're constantly asking, what's the best area? So they start researching the whole of the UK, and the problem is, when you spread yourself across too many areas, everything slows down massively. You don't know the area properly because it's impossible to know every single area. You then start guessing, and that's when you start hesitating, and when you hesitate, you don't make any progress. I convinced myself I was being strategic, higher yields here, better growth there, trying to do a bit of everything, but constantly switching areas meant I never really understood any of them properly, because every deal needed fresh research, and it was only when I focused on one main area, the Northeast, and really got to know it, that's when things started moving and I saw real progress. And luckily for standard buy-to-lets, a lot of the North still works. Prices are lower, yields are stronger, and the numbers tend to stack. Now, does that mean that you should invest in the Northeast? Absolutely not. It depends on your goals. Are you willing to travel? Are you chasing stronger cash flow? Or are you focused on long-term capital growth closer to your home? These things matter, but what matters more than chasing the best area, because there is no best, is sticking to one area. So here's what you need to do. The most important thing is do not research the whole of the UK. Just pick 1 or 2 towns, stick to 2-3 postcodes, and trust me, that's all you need to get started. If buy-to-lets work in your local area, start there. If the returns aren't strong enough in your area, then start looking further out, ideally somewhere practical if you're doing this yourself. Go deep and not wide. When you know the area well, you start understanding the numbers, and that's what keeps things on track. And don't worry if you feel like you've been researching forever. Everyone does at first, but the fastest way to make progress is to pick a lane and stick with it. The deeper you go, the faster you'll move. And there's one more habit that slows new investors down, and if you don't fix it, your first deal will take far longer than it needs to. Look, I get it. When you're investing, you want to make as much money as possible. So do I. You want the highest return, the one that looks amazing on paper. But let me ask you something. If you decide to get in shape, would you wait until you found the perfect training plan, perfect diet, perfect gym, or would you just start showing up 3 times a week and improve over time? Because here's the problem with waiting for the perfect deal. You could be waiting years, and the reality is that 100% returns or money back out unicorn deals, they exist, but it's very, very rare. And I know if you spend enough time on social media, you might start to think it's easy, but I promise you they're not. And why are you waiting for that one perfect opportunity? You could have bought 5 solid deals at 10 to 15% returns, which over time would have made you that 100% return anyway. So you really need to ask yourself, which actually builds more wealth? One deal you might never find, or 5 consistent, realistic deals that move you forward? Personally, I'd rather have 5 properties, each returning 10 to 15%, which is very achievable, there's plenty of those deals about, than sitting around and chasing 100% return that may never come. Because those 5 good deals compound, waiting for the perfect deal doesn't. And remember, your first property is about getting started, not making a ton of money. So here's how to think about this. If a deal stacks safely, fits your criteria, delivers a realistic return, and works within your budget, move. Don't overthink it, because it's most likely it would still give you a better return than what your money is doing in the bank. And there's one final thing where most timelines fall apart, and it happens after you've already bought the property. So one of the biggest ways investors end up taking longer than planned is the refurb. When you buy a property, most of the process is predictable. Mortgage timelines, legal timelines, but a refurb, that's where you're going to get a lot of uncertainty. Materials get delayed, builders don't show up, you uncover damp behind a wall, all of a sudden, I don't know, electrics need updating. What you thought would take 4 weeks suddenly takes 3 months, and every extra week delays your tenant, which delays your cash flow and delays your confidence. Cost matters, of course, but what really slows beginners down isn't just the money, it's time. Because heavy refurbs have more moving parts, and if it's your first deal, that's where things can get out of control. Now, here's what most beginners misunderstand. Just because a property looks tired, it doesn't mean it needs a full renovation. Let me show you one of mine. So this property I bought last year looked dated, but it didn't need ripping apart. New carpets, fresh paint, minor refresh, all under £5,000 and done in 4 weeks. And after those 4 weeks, it was generating cash flow without any delays. And that speed from buying a property to actually start making money is what you need to be aiming for. Now, to be clear, I do heavy refurbs, but that's because I've got experience, a team, and systems in place. When you're starting out, you don't need too many moving parts. You need momentum, and that comes from keeping things simple. If you want your first property to move quickly and safely, keep the refurb light and predictable. The fewer moving parts, the fewer delays. and the fewer delays, the faster you start making money. So here's how to apply this. Look for properties that just need cosmetic upgrades, the kind that are tired and need refreshing but not a full-blown refurb. So focus on avoiding structural changes, big layout changes, or anything that drags on for months. Keep it simple and manageable. Your first deal should be about proof you can buy, proof you can execute, and proof this works. And the fastest way to get that proof is to keep the refurb boring and simple. You'll finish on time, you're gonna start making money, and then you'll be like, oh, this property stuff actually works, let's buy another one. And that's the aim of the game. So now you know how to get your first property in the fastest and most reliable way. But there are still a few mistakes that first time investors tend to make, and if you don't spot them early, they can cost you time and money. And that's what I'll show you in this video, so I'll see you over there.